trust itself started, Craig and I bought the woodland in 2006, and then we formed Board of Trustees, the Wildlife Habitat Protection Trust, and then we gifted this wood to the trust and became what we are today. We did it because we wanted to see areas that when we were kids, there were a lot of areas like this which have been reclaimed for farming and industry, and we wanted to see areas like this, so we decided to start with this piece of woodland, take it back to how it should be.
When we were kids, it's changed an awful lot because there isn't the amount of places that you can go to. When we were kids, you used to be able to go just down the road, there'd be ponds, little dikes and things like that where you could go with nets when we were kids pulling frog spawn, and that ain't particularly there anymore. So what we're trying to do is create that environment again, which I think we've succeeded in doing here. Creating a nice environment where kids can come and do what they should do. To roll it out further still.
Yeah, get more people involved. You know, all the different zones we've got is to keep improving it. Get more groups coming in, like kids, schools.
Buying other fields and doing the same with them. Creating scrapes, creating nature walks, areas where kids can go.
Yeah, we ran courses for community service volunteers, and they did a whole range of conservation management techniques, ranging from creating living willow hedges to creating new habitats, to learning how to manage different zones in a woodland, planting bulbs, all kinds of stuff. Well, there were quite a few people who had never really been in this kind of environment, and they weren't sure about it, because a lot of them, they wanted to do something but they'd never done it before, so they weren't sure. A lot of them did have an urban background, and very much so. Some of them either liked it or didn't like it, but it was very obvious who did and didn't like it.
Once they get started, and then actually see where they've been doing something.
Yeah.
It's like doing the willow weaving or doing some fencing. If you start from scratch, there's nothing there, and at the end of the day, you've actually got a product that you've actually done. It's far better than having like just tidying up, because there's nothing to see at the end of it. When you finish picking litter, you look back, still as much litter to pick up again. You've nothing to show. At least with this, they've actually got something to show, and when they're finished, they've created that. We think that's a good thing.
Those that did show an interest, it excelled, didn't they? Really got into it, and, you know, with ideas and things. So they weren't just doing it to get past the time of day. They were actually getting really involved and interested, which is a big thing, really. Yes, we do. Yeah.
Some come back volunteering, some keep in touch.
They maybe come and visit with the families and offer themselves to volunteer, you know, whenever they need them, really, just because they like the project so much.
There's one gentleman who just finished his time. He'll be back, he'll give us a shout at volunteering. With one fellow who will come back from Tacos to volunteering. So they're all lined up, they're all there. So that's I class that as a yardstick to success, really.
It made quite a big difference, actually, because to give you an example, just one of them then, they created a living willow sculpture that was kind of an animal in an arch kind of format down at Sandworth Field, and when they started they had a pile of willow whips, they had some weed suppressant matting, and we told them what they were kind of going to aim for, and they were like, they couldn't see what the benefit of this was, and we said it's going to be a community park. So they're going to be doing something for the community. And then after it, when it started taking shape and so on, they were like, oh well, no, they were actually coming up with ideas to make it better for sort of the children, young people and parents and so on to run through it, it gave them a sense of ownership over what they were doing, and it improved their self-confidence massively. And working in a team, they loved working in a team, the majority of them.
We get actively involved with them, you know, and just stay with them and work them. Yeah. Talk to them as they talk to their friends. Yeah. And they love that. We don't expect them to wear fluorescent vests saying community bareback, because that's you know, it's a bit degrading for them. So
yeah, but hang on,
normal clothes.
When they're in a group, they have to do that.
Yeah.
But when they're on a placement, they don't have to wear a vest.
Yeah.
Okay. That is a bit of a drawback sometimes.
From a paperwork point of view, the first couple of courses we ran, it was getting used to it, because although I suppose it's not a lot when it comes to European funding, it is quite a lot of paperwork when you haven't done it before. But we've got to grips with the paperwork, and the community service volunteers as well. We've got to learn how to go through the paperwork with them. I think it was definitely beneficial. We learned an awful lot from it.
Absolutely.
Because we ran 6-hour courses, and I think if we were doing it again, we'd probably run 4-hour courses, 2, 4.
Yes. Yeah.
We'd, instead of having the 6 hours, we'd split it up and do 4 hours, because after lunch you kind of lose.
Yeah. The attention span, you get 4 good hours is better than 6, and 2 there's a tail off after lunch, which is a natural sort of thing to happen. So 4 hours you get a lot of work out.
We have learned.
Yeah.
It's just picking these things up as you go along. The more you do, the more hints and tips you pick up of how.
Definitely.
Yeah, we were definitely. Yeah.
I think we are very well placed because we understand these people. We work with them. We have a, when they talk to us, we know what they're saying, don't we?
Yeah.
We can
relate to them.
We can relate to them.